Oh, hello everybody. The last section we're gonna do is this is still chapter 4, homework 8. It's called the Pythagorean Theorem. So it's the Pythagorean. This one is only good for right triangle. So remember, right triangle means this angle must be here, the 90-degree angle. So this one is 90-degree angle. So this formula is good only for 90 degree. So you're saying is for any right triangle, or the right triangle, a triangle with a 90-degree angle, these are called the legs, A and B. So you can call A, B, B, it doesn't matter. But the C is always the longest side. So A, B, they call the legs, and the C is known as hypotenuse. So H, Y, P, O, T, and U, S, C. So hypotenuse. So we're saying is if the legs are A, B, and the hypotenuse is C, well then the formula you have to remember is A squared plus B squared, they always equal C squared. And remember, C is on the right hand side here, and the C is always the longest side, the side directly across from the box. The box represent 90 degrees, so side directly across from C, the box is C, which is hypotenuse. So now A, B, C, we have three variables. So if two quantities are given, we can always find the third one. So let me show you some example. Remember, every single problem on the homework you're going to use is A squared plus B squared equal C squared. So here is I can leave this one here. So this formula is good only for right triangle. So this is ABC. Well then remember, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So here is a quick example. So let's see, if A is 3, B is 4, what is the value of C? So now A, B, C, we must have two values to find the third one. And we're assuming, this is every single problem, we're assuming that these are the sides of a right triangle, mean the triangle with a 90-degree angle. So then make sure you start this way. So write the formula first. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So A is 3, so 3 squared. B is 4, 4 squared. And we do not know C. So make sure do not lose this square. So that's the first step. So now open the square. 3 squared is 9. 4 squared is 16. This is equal C squared still. 16 plus 9 is 25. Ooh. So 25 equals C squared. So now C squared. So we're going to solve for C, not C squared. So now keep in mind, the square and the square root, they always cancel each other. So remember, again, the square and the square root, they always cancel each other. So this square, if you want to cancel, we have to take square root both sides, like this. If this number is perfect square, write the answer. And if it's not perfect square, follow the direction is asking you is use the calculator and round the answer to the given place value. So they tell you the nearest tenth, hundredth, or thousand. So in this case, the square and the square root cancel. Left over is just to see here. What square root of 25 is 5? So that is the answer. So we're saying is if the A is 3, B is 4, the value of C is 5. Okay, let me show you one more example how exactly we find the one of the leg A or B when the C is given. So here is the second example here, example 2. If A is 5, C is, let's go 9, and then find the value of B. So now in this case C is given. So we already know this C is 9, so B gonna be less than 9. So here is the formula again. So A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Again, we are assuming every single dimension here is given is for the right triangle. So then A squared means is 5 squared plus, we don't know what the B is, the B squared, so C is 9, so 9 squared. Okay, that's the first step. So now 5 squared is 25 plus B squared equals 81. So now we must isolate B squared. So the same rule, move and divide. Or in this case, we're gonna move. Make sure do not lose the square. So what is the 25 opposite? It becomes minus 25 other side. So is the b squared equals, so what is the 81 minus 25? Careful here, you can use the calculator. If the numbers are big, so you can use the calculator for the homework. So what is the 11 minus 5 is a 6. So this is a 7. What is 7 minus 2? Which is 5. So this is a 56. So then b squared equals 56. So then now again we're going to solve for b, not b squared. So what is the, remember the square and the square root, they always cancel. So take square root both sides. That's the rule. So square and the square root cancel, left over is b. So now at this point, the homework is asking you is make sure you round it. So in this case here, use the calculator here. Use calculator. Because so this 56 is not a perfect square. The square root of 56 is an irrational number. So make sure, follow the direction, use the calculator and write the answer. So make sure round the answer to the given place values on the worksheet. Let me show you one more example when the a is missing. So same rule. So here is one last example. So it says if b is 2 root 2, c is 7, find the value of a. That's the third example here. So now, same thing. So here is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Substitute the given values. So a we don't know. Make sure do not lose the square. A squared, the b we know. So is the 2 root 2. Make sure use the parentheses for the square. And c is a 7, so it becomes 7 squared. So this is a given problem here. Make sure don't get confused. That's the first step. You can always pause and think about what's going on. Pause and go. So now a squared. So now plus. So here look, 2 is the outside here. What is the 2 squared? Is 4. Well then when you take a square and the square root, well, square and the square root cancel with the leftover just 2. Or look, 2 squared is 4. What square root of 4 is 2? So very careful here. Plus equals 7 squared is 49. So now so is a squared plus 8 equals 49. Well then a squared equals is minus 8. What is 49 minus 8 is 41. Is 41 is a perfect square? No. So here is a squared equals 41. How do you clear the square? The square and the square root. So take square root both sides. Remember, square and the square root, they always cancel. So the square and the square root gone. So now 41 is not perfect square. So this one here, use the calculator. Okay, so write the answer here. Or I think on the homework worksheet they ask you to round it. Otherwise, that's the possible answer. Or sometimes they ask you to round it. So is 41 is close to 36. So we can talk a little more next year. But that's your basic worksheet is. So your homework is I think 7 or 8 problems. This is the last homework we're going to do for the school year. So that's pretty much it. I wish you good luck for the summer. Please stay safe. And we'll see you soon. Hopefully we're coming back in August. So I really want to come back because I'm bored. So it's boring at home. I think it's more fun at school. So thank you so much for working so hard. Most of you did great. You responded. And I enjoyed it too. So then do the homework and then have a safe summer. So see you soon. Thank you so much.